So I'm going to go here and put it the mainline dyno. So we're on a mainline Pro Hub dyno. This is new, so if you've been watching other training tutorials, I have a Dynapack dyno as well. So this mainline has been new for this year, and I'm just slowly integrating it into our training tutorials here as I'm starting to work with a little bit more. So I don't know all the ins and outs of the dyno, but I know enough to make things work here. So I'm going to jump in and I'm going to set it into its run mode here real quick. I'm going to go up here to setup, and let's go take a look at a few things. This is the setup screen allowing the ramp to happen. This is for full throttle, so I'm going to be telling it where I want it to start from and then stop, and we'll do our pool, and then we can evaluate looking at what kind of power and torque output it makes. What we need to be mindful of this with the main line is that we don't put too much load on the engine, which is all controlled through the ramp rate. First, we have to go and select the start speed. And the start speed, I'm going to start my run here at 1820 RPM. That's set here for the start speed. Now the values here are going to be hub RPM, and they're not actually going to be actual RPM. So we have to go and keep that in mind. That's how fast the hubs are actually going to be spinning. Now looking here at the end speed, we're going to go and complete our run. Let's go up here a little bit in RPM. Let's say we're going to spin the engine up here. There's 6,300. We can see what that looks like. Let's go up a little bit higher. Let's go to 2,000. So that's 6,840 RPM. Let's see what kind of power band this engine has. So we're going to be going here from 1820 RPM to 1640. Now the next thing to consider is the ramp rate. We can see right now the duration of the run. So it's going to be adding this factor in here. That's going to be the ramp rate. This is going to be 7.8 seconds, which is kind of long for to put a load onto the engine. This is going to be essentially how we're adding the load. I'm going to drop that down just a little bit. We're going to go and just slow down that ramp rate, maybe to 240 RPMs per second. That's going to give us about a 6.5. I usually shoot for about a 6 to 8 second ramp rate at most. On these bigger power engines, I like to keep that ramp rate down just a little bit, keep the load just a little bit down so I don't overload the engine and create artificial load that I don't need to. So this should be good here. Let me go and click OK, and we're now ready to go. I'm going to go in here to begin, and it's going to put me into the run mode. So we can see here, I just have to open the throttle, hit the space bar on my keypad here, and then it'll initiate the log. So I'm going to go and get full throttle. I'm going to turn the dyno fan on. I'm going to go and start that run. We're going to be data logging this, and we're going to play back and see what this looks like, and check our EQ ratio error, and looking at the upper portion of our MAF curve. We have low spark timing, we should be good there. So if it seems lean, doesn't seem right, I'm gonna back out of it. I'm gonna keep my eye on the wideband here that's mounted right in the cabin that I can see in my field of vision. So if everything seems good, I'm gonna stay in it. If it doesn't, I'll back out of it. So let me throw my headphones on. I'm gonna stop this data log right here. I'm gonna initiate a new data log so we have that as a fresh point of reference when we start our run. I'm gonna do that as soon as I hit the space bar, and I'll start the data log. So I'm going to put it into gear here. I make sure the traction control's off on the vehicle. I am doing 4th gear pulls. I've scaled the dyno to read 4th gear. Put the dyno fan on here. Once the fan goes on, I really can't talk. This fan is incredibly loud. So let me put it in gear here. So we're going to put it in 4th. I'm going to put the fan on. I'm going to lay into full throttle, start the data log, hit the space bar, and we're going to log it, stop everything, and check out what kind of power the engine's making, and then just see our airflow model here and fuel model, see if we can make any adjustments. So let me go ahead and do that right now. Put the fan on. All right, air fuel looked okay. We shut it down so we can talk here a little bit. So I stopped the data log. Let's go ahead and save this so we have this a point of reference. Let's go here to save log file as, and we'll call this Watt Pool 1 so we can see a few things here. So before we go any further, just so we can see what kind of power this engine is making, let's take a look at the dyno screen. So it's showing here 621 horsepower. The other reading here that's on the screen, this is going to be in kilowatts. That's the equivalent of horsepower. If we take a look at this, the green is going to be the horsepower, the red is going to be the torque. We see here, if we're looking at our scale on the side, this is torque. On horsepower, the scaling that it's showing on the graph. So 600, we're making about 590 torque, I'd have to say. and 621 horsepower. So power's not that great. We do see it's kind of odd, the shape of the curve. It's a little bit lazy. We see the torque really comes in hard here. Probably the boost is going to be coming in hard here. I mentioned that before. There seems to be an unlinear relationship between the pedal and the pedal input and the boost that it's building. The supercharger seems like it's building boost pretty late, which I believe mechanically is caused from the bypass valve needing adjustment. This kit has just been installed. The owner dropped it off to me, so kind of a lot of unknowns here with this. But so far, so good. We can fix that bypass valve maybe for the next tutorial, but let's focus on what we need to look at here and what we need to adjust for fixing the upper portion of our MAF curve. So let's go ahead and just disconnect. We'll leave it connected to the vehicle for right now. Let's go ahead and take a look here at our EQ ratio error.
Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.